started your DevOps journey? I mean, I'm asking you, have you started anything like any DevOps learning, such as tools learning or technology learning, or any kind of problem solving that you started with? You might have experienced a lot of problem learning DevOps in the right way. I mean, you might have always noticed that something is always wrong. But basically, the truth is that this is the story of most of the people who try to learn DevOps. There are a lot of things that might not come in the way as you might be expecting. And in this video, I thought about giving you a brief overview about the actual problem that you are facing when you try to learn DevOps, or if you are planning to learn DevOps, what are the potential problems that you are going to face in the future when you start, right? The first problem is that a lot of tools and technologies and a lack of clarity is the most important problem that most of the beginners who try to learn DevOps faces. So the clarity lackness comes from the complexity of DevOps. I mean, when I talk about DevOps, it is, you can say DevOps is a combination of a lot of tools and technologies and a lot of cultural change that wants to happen inside a company and a lot of methodologies that would drive all those practices and stuff, right? So DevOps is a combination of all these things, which most of the time only the people who actually work in a work environment understand these practices, right? The people who want to learn stuff, they don't really understand these practices. Well, the people usually, what I have seen, most of the people who want to learn DevOps, they just pick up the most popular DevOps tools and start learning those tools. But that will not actually give you a clarity on what is DevOps or what are the real organizational frustrating problem that DevOps is trying to solve. DevOps exists because there are a lot of problems that most of the IT companies are facing. So that clarity lackness is a big challenge that is stopping many people from learning DevOps themselves, or most of the courses that they are taking would not really focus on those business problems that they need to solve. Rather, they focus a lot on the tools and technologies, a lot that will not work out when it comes to DevOps. And then another problem in DevOps is that a DevOps engineer handle a lot of concepts, a lot of problems and solutions within his team. There are issues related to CI/CD, so a DevOps engineer is responsible for managing the continuous integration and continuous delivery operations. That would be one of their responsibility. Then another responsibility will be to manage the infrastructure as code using to various coding kind of tools. And that is a different part of responsibility and a different concept. And then there are containerization and their orchestrations, and then there are observability, and there are various concepts that is part of the whole DevOps umbrella. That would also be kind of very new to you guys. So basically, that is one problem. So if you are learning one technology, I mean, you might not be focusing on the concept. You might rather be focusing on the particular tool and technology. So that would not give you the proper light or proper focus on where your effort to be put on. So that is one major problem that I have seen in most of the people who try to learn DevOps. Then another problem is that the lab requirement, basically you need to do a lot of practices, you need to learn a lot of tools and a lot of technologies, and basically and how these tools and technology learning should happen in a project like environment. For example, the time you are learning some tools, you must be learning that for a reason, right? That is not what happens in for most of the people. You are learning Jenkins because you know Jenkins is a popular tool and Jenkins might help you in some way. Jenkins helps you in different way, but first of all, you should have a understanding about the project. You have a clear clarity on the project. You must have a clear clarity on that frustrating problem that you are facing in IT, and then pick up those tools that you want to learn and then work on those tools. So whatever practicals and whatever labs that you are currently doing, It must be based on a problem. You should be actually solving an IT problem. Maybe Jenkins might not be enough to solve one problem. You might need to use Jenkins. You might need to use 4 or 5 other tools with Jenkins in order to solve a particular problem that you might be experiencing on the project. So every time you do the lab for solving a real-time problem, not for learning the tools. Of course, you need to learn the tools. That's important, but your lab should be mostly focused on solving a problem, and that's very, very important. And another problem that most of the people faces is the lack of mentors, right? You can speak to your senior people who might be working, right? The people whom you know personally who would be working in the work, they can actually give you a lot of idea about the problems and various things what they are actually working on. I mean, don't ask them what tool they are using, just ask them what work they are doing and why their work is important. If the thing is not present, what would happen, right? Basically, those are the things you should be spending a lot of time on when we're speaking to a senior who might actually be working on the DevOps area. There are different communities available out there that you can also speak to. So basically, this is very, very important. When you learn DevOps, you must have a mentor who can guide you or tell you about various problems or the roles and responsibilities of a DevOps engineer and what is the path you should be taking to get there. And most of the time, the mentor may not be right all the time, but actually, he can give you, right? At least he can give you a direction on which path you should move. That's very, very important. And then basically, these are the most important problem that I have seen when people trying to learn DevOps. So just thought of giving you and one advice also that I want to give you: whatever you learn it based on a real-time problem, right? And try to understand the problem. Ask your seniors or ask somebody who you trust. Try to understand the problem. Spend a lot of time learning the problem and the proposed solution before you even think about learning the tools and technologies and implementing the solution. That's very, very important when you learn DevOps. It's so important. All right. And we have a course, the Textbook Edu, as you might already know. We have a course, and in this course, what we prepared, we combined all these, we considered all these problems. And yeah, another one problem is the soft skills, something that I missed. The soft skills should also be it's all about mindset. I'm not talking about you must be a good communicator or you must be somebody who talks a lot. That's not the point what I'm trying to communicate. But when I say soft skills, it's all about understanding of the problem and ability to focus on the things that matters and avoiding the things that doesn't matter. I mean, right? Those kind of skills are very, very important when you work on a DevOps job. So that is another problem that people have, right? When what kind of solution to be implemented and what is important, what should be less priority, what is high priority, right? There should be a lot of soft skills that you should develop along when you learn DevOps. So I talked about the DevOps master program that DevOps Edu deliver to you guys. Basically, that consists of 5 advanced project-based courses. I told you DevOps actually has different concepts. There is CI/CD, there is container orchestration, there is infrastructure as code, then there is cloud computing. There are different concepts within DevOps. So we took different concepts, or in other words, we took some frustrating IT problems and developed them into a project-based course. And each of these courses are 3 weeks long. So when you enroll to this program, you will be undergoing 5 project-based courses which solve different DevOps frustrating problem. So when you learn, we keep on talking about the problems a lot. I mean, unlike we don't follow a module after module structure when we teach you. So basically, one tool, finish one tool, go to the next tool, and then next tool. That's not our approach. Our approach is that we split various problems into different courses. And in one course, we focus on one problem and one solution. And we learn those tools and technologies that are required to come into that particular solution. So the idea is that you give a lot more focus on the problem, and you give important or enough focus on the technologies and tools and practice and all those labs and everything. And you most importantly would be focused on implementing a solution to the problem using this bunch of tools. Every course would consist of a bunch of tools because most of the time a bunch of tools needs to work together in order to bring in a proper solution to that frustrating problem. And in this particular course, once you enroll, you would be completing your first course within 3 weeks, and that is when you can start searching for a job. So we also assist you, help you preparing a resume, helping you preparing with a lot of placement assistance and our reference calls. We partnered with some other companies, and you would be taking the training and interviews parallelly. Most of the people who took that training, they got a job in DevOps within a matter of even before they complete the course. We can say that. So this is just an overview. Our focus is on this particular video. I just wanted to record whether you enrolled our course or you decided to learn DevOps yourself by enrolling to some other courses. I mean, it doesn't matter. What matters is that start focusing on the problems and the solutions, and they are more important. Probably they are more important than the tools and technologies. So thanks for watching, and see you for the next video.